The United Nations-backed envoy Kofi Annan has arrived in Syria for talks aimed at reviving his peace plan and ceasefire. He'll meet President Bashar al-Assad later today.
Mr. Annan has described the weekend massacre of more than 100 civilians as appalling. Our Middle East correspondent Ann Barker reports.
Even as world leaders came to grips with the massacre at Houla, more Syrians were under attack nearby. Amateur video posted online purportedly showed shelling at Hama and Homs. Human rights activists said pro-government forces had moved into Hama overnight, killing at least 24 people. The latest claims came as Special Envoy Kofi Annan touched down in Damascus for talks aimed at salvaging his failed peace plan. As he arrived in Syria, he voiced his horror at the deaths of so many children and women.
This was an appalling crime, and the Security Council has rightly condemned it.
Kofi Annan spoke to reporters before meeting Syria's Foreign Minister, Walid Muallim. Today he'll hold talks with the President Bashar al-Assad and renew pressure on Syria's government and rebel fighters to respect the ceasefire.
And this message of peace is not only for the government, but for everyone, every individual with a gun.
Shortly before, Britain's Foreign Secretary William Hague was on a similar mission to Moscow to push Russia as Syria's main ally to put more pressure on the Assad regime.
The alternatives are the Annan plan or ever-increasing chaos in Syria and a descent closer and closer to all-out civil war and collapse.
Russia, though, has challenged claims that Syrian forces alone are to blame for the slaughter at Houla.
Here we are dealing with a situation in which both sides evidently had a hand in the deaths of innocent people, including several tens of children, including women. That region is under the control of armed fighters, but it's also surrounded by government troops.
World condemnation of the violence in Syria continues to grow. Britain has also summoned Syria's top diplomat in London in protest, labelling the deaths at Houla a sickening and evil crime. And France has warned that Syria will eventually answer for its murderous folly. Ann Barker, ABC News.